essence of good nutrition cannot be overemphasized. It largely determines how strong you are to face the day's challenges. Good nutrition increases resistance to infections and diseases, improves energy, and thus makes a person generally stronger and more productive. In Nigeria, approximately 3.5 million persons are living with HIV and AIDS. As such, there is a need for affected households and communities to live a healthy life from the time of infection with HIV through the progression of the disease. A well-nourished person has a stronger body for coping with HIV and fighting illness. For an HIV-infected person, the goal of living positively is to be free of illness, to be productive, and to stay emotionally and physically healthy. Dr. Rosemary Anyanwu of the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research and other medical personnel are of the opinion that while people living with HIV and AIDS have special nutritional needs, it is important to note that everybody will benefit from adequate nutrition. Bose Olutu is a mother of two. After a long bout of illnesses, Bose, a qualified laboratory scientist, tested herself and discovered she was HIV positive, and this was the beginning of a totally new lifestyle for her. What does Bose's eating style look like?
I don't go out of my way to eat things I don't feel like eating. I eat things that I know that I want to eat and I like to eat them, but I don't eat them in excess because I feel like eating and I just keep on consuming that particular thing. Then I take more of vegetables, fruit. Those build the red blood cells, and I think it helps to boost the immunity. So I go out of my way. I don't take pure water outside. I rather prefer to buy bottled water. I know it's expensive, but I know that my health is very, very important. So I rather not eat if I'm thirsty, or if I can't afford to buy pure water, bottled water, I'll take maybe Fanta or what have you, orange drink, or buy orange to take,
An HIV-infected person is more at risk of malnutrition for the following reasons: reduced food intake, poor absorption and changes in metabolism, and chronic infections and illnesses. Dr. Rosemary Anyanwu, a nutritionist, talks about the essence of good nutrition.
Well, nutrition should be part and parcel of care and support for people living with HIV and AIDS. And when you look at HIV and AIDS as a disease that attacks the immune system, you understand that nutrition plays a major role in keeping the components of the immune system strong. Without good nutrition, whether micronutrient nutrition or macronutrient nutrition, the components of the immune system will require adequate, balanced nutrition to function effectively. And when the HIV virus attacks the cell and destroys, the lymphocyte cells, as the patient goes on, even ART, they need to be on good nutrition for the cells to repair faster and, the person to become healthy again.
Adults with HIV and AIDS suffer from appetite loss, anorexia, and have difficulty in eating. Thus, they eat less and fail to meet their body's dietary requirements. Even when they do eat, HIV and AIDS affects how their body uses the foods that are consumed, resulting in poor absorption of nutrients, protein, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, minerals, and water, which are important for the proper functioning of the immune system. Also, a number of other symptoms and illnesses commonly caused by HIV infection have nutritional consequences that can lead to malnutrition. These diseases, amongst others, are anorexia, loss of appetite, diarrhea, loose bowel movement, fever, nausea, frequent vomiting, which may be as a result of drugs used to treat HIV and AIDS or from the opportunistic infections, Thrush, a fungal infection common in HIV-infected people, damaged immune systems, and anemia resulting from an inadequate number of quality or red blood cells in the body. Some of the people living with HIV share their experiences on how they deal with these various health conditions. Ajagena Sabal, also of the Jos University Teaching Hospital Center, and Oba Oladapo of the Ibadan Treatment Center have been positive for some years. They share their experiences with us.
For me, in fact, I don't have to spend much money in aspect of nutrition. Once, especially I go with beans very well, have small beans, then have some fish and some green vegetables, especially the spinach or this ugu leaf. You mix it up and these things, and then one other good aspect is, like we from our environments here, like this, we have what they call granite pipe, which in fact 20 naira, 30 naira will fetch you a good bowl of it. You go buy it, and there's some small beans cake. Those are most of those things. I help myself and make sure I eat them at a regular good basic day, and at least in a day I must make sure I have a plate of food that is a bit have all the necessary nutrition aspect of it.
Aminat Ali lives with HIV and AIDS. She also shares her experience with us.
Before, I used to think that to eat a balanced diet, you have to have all the money in the world. But I found out that just a token to get a balanced meal. I'm sure sometimes when I buy food outside, some people will be like, you eat good, because I combine all the classes of food to make it balanced. And that's the whole lesson. And you can do that. And there are lots of foods in the market that are cheap. Any food that is in season, you can take it. But if you find out that a particular food is not ideal for you, you change to other aspect of the food that you can. Like, I found out that if I take beans, I purge. Then I eat mamai or akara, bean ball, and that's it for me. For you, you can also find out what is really good for you or what is not, and you can improve on your nutrition. Or better still, if you don't know anything about that balanced diet, there are always nutritionists at the hospital in which you assess your drug. Ask for information and you'll be given.
For nutrition, you take a lot of fruit. Carrot, orange, banana, mango, cashew, apple, and so on. It is very good for your white blood cells. And you take a lot of water. You take carbohydrate food. For people living with HIV, we need 10 times extra energy than people who doesn't have the virus. So you need to take at least 2 heavy meals a day. So in the morning at times, I eat eba, which is gari, with vegetable. The vegetable might have in it crayfish or crab or snail or some other things like malashake do. Not all at the same time, but at least 1 or 2 of these. The vegetable is good naturally. You eat them. And take beans, take vitamins, take a lot of fruit. So balanced diet, nutritional food cannot be defined by buying in the eateries that is too expensive. But I bet you just prepare with a little money. You can buy fresh fish of 200 naira, prepare these things and eat. It's going to be good for you. So,
to ensure that people living with HIV and AIDS receive sufficient nutrients, it is important that they eat smaller portions so that the stomach can absorb foods and more frequently throughout the day. Encourage healthy snacking throughout the day to increase intake of food. It is helpful to prepare special softer foods for those who are ill. Softer foods are moister and may be tolerated better during periods of illness. However, it is important to continue to eat during illness and to eat more when recuperating to make up for lost nutrients and weight. People living with HIV and AIDS have increased nutrient requirements because of the infection, so consuming a variety of foods from each of the main groups on a daily basis is important to maintaining good nutritional status to help fight illness. In addition, good nutritional status will ensure that they are able to survive an opportunistic infection such as tuberculosis or pneumonia without further compromising their health and nutritional status. The main food groups people need to live a healthy life include body-building foods or proteins. These foods contain proteins for cell repair and growth. They can be obtained from legumes, example beans, lentils, cowpeas, peas, groundnuts and nuts. Milk products such as yogurt, cheese, animal foods such as fish, eggs, chicken, pork and beef, and cereals such as wheat, maize and rice. Foods rich in micronutrients such as vitamins A, B, C and D, and minerals such as iodine, zinc and iron are called protective foods. They help the body to absorb the utilized protein and carbohydrates and help to fight infections and to digest and absorb other nutrients. They can be found in dark green leafy vegetables such as collard greens, cassava and potato leaves, spinach, pumpkin leaves and cabbage, and yellow and orange fruits and vegetables such as mango or pawpaw, sweet potato, pumpkin, carrots, tomato, avocado, oranges, lemons and bananas. Carbohydrates such as sugars and starches and fats provide the body with energy. These foods provide the energy to make our bodies work and keep active and can be found in various starchy staple foods such as maize prepared in different forms, rice, banana, plantain, sorghum, millet and roots, and tubers such as cassava, potato, yam and sweet potato. They are usually cheaper than high-protein foods and more readily available. Now let's hear what nutritionists Ayodele Adesanmi of the University College Hospital Ibadan and Dr. Anyanwu have to say.
We cannot rule out nutrition in the management of HIV infection, knowing fully well that when infection enters the body, what it does is that it increases metabolic rate, or I would say it overworks the system, and it can cause breakdown in some tissues of the body. That's why there's this possibility of wasting. You see people losing weight unexplainably. It can cause other opportunistic infection like gastrointestinal upsets like vomiting, nausea. It can also cause diarrhea. It can cause thrushes, ulcer, crack of the mouth, of the skin, and all sorts. Well, these are some of the manifest, or what a HIV infection can show, how it can manifest in the body, that nutrition can help to manage or to prevent.
Symptoms like anorexia, lack of appetite, we say don't stop eating. Try as much as possible to eat, even if you have to snack. Eat small quantity of what you can that can pass through.